from start to be. I'm very, very happy to be here today with Pat Riley. He is the new director for the TechStars network. We're actually here shooting the first interview in your new offices, right? You guys just moved.
That's right. Today's our first full day in the TechStars office, so we're thrilled to be here.
Awesome. So pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here with Pat. And so first, I would actually like to ask you a little bit about what's your background? How did you get involved with TechStars?
Yeah, for sure. So I started off working for W.L. Gore & Associates. They make Vortex.
From Seinfeld.
Good reference. Yeah, so I started off doing business development for them and then switched to working at the Red Cross. I ran the office for the chief operating officer in Washington, D.C. at the Red Cross. And then from there, ended up helping to run a startup. I ran sales, business development for a startup out here. I ran our West Coast sales and operations. Then ended up getting plugged into TechStars, helping to manage the network, which helps accelerators get up and running.
Okay, great. So luckily for everybody that's on start, you already have a video with like David Cohen and former Tom Keller. So what I wanted to ask you is basically, this has been happening even in Brazil and here, this booming of accelerators, right? It's like there are a lot of people that have money that instead of putting their money in the bank, they're just filling the gap between first-time entrepreneurs that need some money and venture capital Series A. Why you guys are doing the best job out of it?
I think we have a really unique model, and as we focus on a certain amount of companies at a time. Usually we don't do anything more than 12 companies at a time, which means on top of that, we can use our mentors. And we usually have about 60 to 80 mentors for each class that goes through TechStars. And by having that small amount of companies that are going through and a large amount of mentors, means that our mentors can spend a lot of time with each company. I think that's why our companies have been so successful.
So it's absolutely about mentorship. And the thing is that I know that you guys have been having a lot of inquiries from like internationally wise, or even inside here, people that they want to replicate the TechStars model, right? Mm-hmm. Then you guys divided yourself between like Boulder, New York, Seattle, and Boston. Yep. So you have a full camp of demo days and everything else. So then, if you want to expand more, and then either you're gonna like franchise the model and do like a McDonald's or startup accelerators, or you do the network, right?
Right.
What's the difference?
So we look at this as if we can make a model that helps a lot of accelerators get up and running, we want to do that. I think the way that we look at it is we want to keep TechStars, the TechStars network, or I should say the TechStars brand, in a few specific cities. So I see us keeping it in a minimum number of cities. Probably in the United States. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to help other accelerators get up and running, because that means more jobs around the world. So we created the TechStars network with the whole purpose of helping other accelerators get up and running, and then once they are running, helping them run really well. That way we get a lot more companies going through the network, the accelerators that are part of the TechStars network.
Oh, I see. And what makes accelerator eligible to consider themselves like a part of the network and put on their website, on their PowerPoint presentations to attract more entrepreneurs? Because the little mountain is starting to have a lot of value towards a marketing standpoint of like, should apply to this accelerator or that, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. You're actually at a really neat time in the TechStars network, because I'd say each week I usually get about 10 accelerators that are interested in doing it, which is incredible to know there's that many accelerators who are either up and running or about to be running. But we're looking for accelerators that have really strong mentors, a really strong management team, a lot of funding, and a model that almost exactly follows the TechStars model. So we can imagine then, there's no way we're going to accept 10 accelerators a week that are coming to us. Usually on average we're accepting 1 to 2 accelerators a month that are coming to the network.
Okay. So the elements to actually make it eligible is, first you gotta have capital to support the entrepreneurs for 3 months.
Yep.
Have a great management team that's able to have 10 amazing Rolodex to reach out and have the entrepreneurs with mentorship. And is it mandatory for them to actually have office space for all that? Like have like a bunker or now a porch balcony, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna have to
we'll call the bunker 2.0 for right now. We'll see what the name actually becomes. But I think you're right. Those are all the things we're really looking for in the new accelerators. And like you said, I think we want to take a good strategic approach to make sure that the network stays at a pretty high caliber of accelerators that are coming our way, and that when TechStars puts its approval on a new accelerator, that people know that it's one of the best accelerators in the world.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's great. And I've realized, like, being here for 1 year, right? So I was able to, like, learn a lot from school, from watching what happened, like, the follow-ups after the last 2 years demo day, and this year I had a privilege to be at your demo day, right? I realized some things, and then you correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm right, just explain to me, like, if that's actually true. A lot of way more, like, older and senior teams.
Yeah.
It's not like TechStars is like for those 20-something first startup out of the garage and college students. Not that it's not anymore. It's for everybody, but most people that got into this last older class were more senior people that already had 1 or 2 startups, which for me makes me feel like it's getting even more competitive every year. So that you got to filter it somehow.
Yeah.
Then the second thing was how much money those people were willing to raise, and like 80% of all the startups that went on stage at them all day already had pre-committed money. So, like, is that a big difference from last year's, and how do you perceive those changes?
Yeah, so I think we look at it as TechStars is in our 4th year of growth, and we're in 4 cities right now that have the TechStars name. That's Boston, Seattle, New York City, here in Boulder. So what I see is because we've grown the way we have, and really taking an approach where we're doing a small amount of companies and putting a lot of mentors on them, we're able to have a lot of successful classes in the past. Right now, we're at a success rate of 90% of our companies either still operating or have been acquired. So we look at that in the startup space, that is unbelievable. What that means is that companies now are, no matter what, going to be attracted to that because they know that there's a good chance that they're going to get funding. So with your second question about why do they have so much funding already committed before they get to demo day? It's because people want to get involved with it. They know that the companies that are coming through TechStars are some of the best companies, startup companies that are in the world today.